Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. This is for the music that came out, well, the albums that came out last Friday, so we're a bit more caught up and we've got about 5 to get through, so I'm going to try to do that as quick as I can. Let's not waste any more time, let's just jump into it. We start off with the debut, Blackbriar, with their album The Cause of Shipwreck. They've been around for actually since 2012, but this is their first actual full album. They've put out like a lot of EPs and a lot of singles before this. They're a very interesting sort of take on symphonic rock and sort of like a gothic tinge. Really good storytelling. There's like a lot of dark fantasy elements to this, which I quite liked. Some really nice supernatural stuff. And for a debut, it's pretty solid. I'm giving it a B. I thought it was a really good start for them. I feel like there are a few areas where they could have tightened up some things, but it's produced really well. The lead vocalist, something Cock. Hang on, Zora Cock is her name, and she does a pretty good job at the central performance, so yeah, really good vocals, really good riffs, mostly just a really good album, so give it a shot if you're up for it. And now we head from the Netherlands, which is where Blackbriar are from, to Sweden, which is where this next band, Mr. Misery, are from, with their second album, Bright Side of Death. Their first one was called Unalive, and I completely missed it. Caught this one though. Really solid, like horror-inspired metalcore. Nothing like the more fantasy supernatural stuff like Blackbriar. This is more Ice Nine Kills style of horror. You know, pretty gruesome to listen to, but a very fun album. The only sort of A-related grade I'm giving an A-. I thought it has really strong bones to it, and it's got a lot of really good songs put together. But it can feel a bit dragged out, and the fact that the last song is a really weird version of the opening track does put me off a little bit, but for the most part the album does work, and yeah, solid performances from the band members. I wish I knew their names. Really good, like dark and fun lyrics to write about, because yeah, you have to admit, like, horror elements, even though I'm not a big horror guy, they can be fun to write about if they're executed right, and this is executed really, really well, so I think an A- is a pretty good grade for this one. We're staying in Sweden now with Reach, with their album The Promise of a Life. I think this is their third one, I'm not really sure. But yeah, these are an interesting sort of Swedish trio. I think they added a fourth member recently, I'm not really sure. And this is a really solid album. I'm giving it a B+. I like this a lot more than I was expecting to. It's a really good hard rock album. It's got a lot of like that classic hard rock sort of like swagger to it. Really good pacing and structuring. Again, sort of a bit of storytelling with it. You know, I think it tries to have a concept, but I couldn't decipher the lyrics clearly enough to figure out what was what from what. But Ludwig Turner is a very charismatic lead vocalist. Really good guitar work, bass work and drum work, obviously. Solidly produced. And I'm not making this next part up. It was put out on a label titled Icons Creating Evil Art. The acronym for that is IKEA, but spelled with a C. And they're a Swedish band. I don't need to make a joke about that. The label does it for me. But yeah, really good album, ultimately. So maybe give it a try. Yeah. Next we go from 3 much fresher prospects to 1 not so fresh, Tillian Pearson with Factory Reset. This is his 4th solo album. Now Tillian is known for his work with Dance Gavin Dance, who've put out quite a bit of work, and I've reviewed Dance Gavin Dance, and they're a good band. And Tillian is really good on his own. He's the clean vocalist, and this album I'm giving a B. I think there are some production issues. Like, I think they could have just let him sing clean on his own. They didn't really need to double track his vocals that much. And the lyrics are a little less abstract than his Dance Gavin Dance work. But still, this was a good album. I had a lot of fun with this one. Tillian is a very good vocalist, a very, very handsome man as well, I should point out. Yeah, just a really solidly put together pop rock piece. I'm trying to think of any issues. The structuring can feel a bit weird, like the songs don't flow as well as I would like them to. But they're still really good taken individually, and there's a lot of really good banging electro pop rock tracks, so could be worth your time. It was worth mine, I think. And finally, we're ending with Walking Bombs with Tears We Should Have Shed. Now, despite being called Walking Bombs, this is a solo project by a American, I think, a journalist named Morgan Evans. And it's sort of like a collab thing, because he does most of the work on his own, but he brings in like other artists from other bands. And I'm going to keep it real with you. Those are the bands whose I wish I knew who they were from. Like, these are the featured artists. I wish I knew what bands they were from. They sound a lot better than Morgan does. I'm giving this album a C-. For one thing, the cover is fuck ugly. I hate the cover. For another thing, though, this album, it's not nearly as clever as it's trying to be. I didn't like this one. I tried to. Like, the thing is, it's not so much what Morgan is saying, it's the way he's saying it and the way he's presenting himself. He tries to come off as very holier than thou, and a lot of the structuring is fucking weird on this one. It is sort of a punk rock album, but there's only like 2 songs that actually sound like punk songs. There's only 9 songs. It shouldn't feel this weird, you know. I was not feeling this one. Like, it's not as clever. The lyrics are not as clever as they think they are. The man himself is not. He's a good vocalist, but he's not great. Like, he does stumble a bit here and there. He is saved by everyone else around him doing a much better job than he does, especially on the production front. My god, the production for this one is a bit of a mess too. So yeah, I can't really. I'm not giving this a higher grade than C- because it doesn't deserve one. Maybe others got more enjoyment out of this than I did, but I just didn't like it. I wanted to, I just couldn't bring myself to. And that'll about do it for this episode. For the immediate future, well, tonight I'm going to be streaming Spiritfarer because we have the Lily update, and I'm going to be streaming the entire storyline and try and get it done in one night. Next thing you'll see me for after that will probably be Fight the Night review if there is one. If not, failing that, might be another Music of the Week, or possibly some Fugazi related backtracking stuff. The only thing I can promise is new PBW versus ABW on Tuesday, because it's going to be a hell of a show. So yeah, that's what's happening, and thank you for watching, and that's sort of botched my intro, but I'll do it again anyway. As always, thank you for watching, you're awesome. Bye bye.